Crazy correction. Bitcoin just went down 10%. All just going to hell. The market is just coming us. No one is going to make any money. The whole idea of the whole thing is just to take our cash out, make sure whales made money, take your profits after 2x's, and just leave. It's all just a giant scam. Let's actually try to figure out what is happening currently. I will respond to the several main questions. What the current correction is actually about. Are the whales taking profits? What is happening? What type of levels we actually have for Bitcoin currently? Did macro change? Maybe stock market is dumping and that's why Bitcoin is correcting heavily as well. Am I bullish or bearish? Did I sell everything already? Maybe your meme coins are correcting heavily because I'm taking profits? Are there any strong ecosystems at this stage? Is it worth buying at this stage? Are these dips actually for buying right now? Maybe it was all a fake out. Maybe it was just a correction after a bear market. So we went from 69k to 16 and current pump is probably just a correction for this move. And we're going back into the bear market, right? Let's actually try to figure out. Like this video, subscribe if you like this video, subscribe if you like the content, and let's actually start. At the time of me recording this video, we are at $65,000 at this stage. We had a huge level at 66, we just breached through it, we dumped down. What actually will be happening next? Let's go through current corrections, levels. What levels for Bitcoin we have? Macro, bullish or bearish? Are there any strong ecosystems and dips? And figure out if dips are actually for buying. And in general, figure out, should you sell or should you leave? There are so many people who are DCAing into altcoins in the bear market. They're not even in profits at this stage. They're not even at profits currently. Most of them did not break even right now. Whales are taking profits. There are reasons why they're whales. There are a bunch of people in profits already. Why I'm saying that the whales are taking profits is because some on-chain data actually shows that investors sold Ape, Wintermute is selling Arbitrum, Binance Labs selling GMT, whales are taking profits on Pepe, someone is selling Uniswap. Things are not looking good from this point of view, and they are whales for the reason. They are whales is because they're taking profits. They're extracting the money from the marketplace. My money, your money, in the money of everyone who is participating in the market. And whales, smart money, they were most likely positioning themselves way before most of us actually came back into the market. They might have been buying their Bitcoin at $16,000, $17,000, $18,000, and they might have been buying the altcoins in August of last year, where the huge bottom was actually formed, right? The best strategy for the average market participants, most of us, the best strategy for the average market participants, most of us is still just buy and just hold. What to do if you have long risky positions opened? One of my Arbitrum long positions was actually just liquidated this night. $15,000 liquidated. I've added margin to other loans that I have and I'm just waiting at this stage. I'm also very comfortable sitting in my blue chip narrative meme coins. And the main reason for that is because in the first place I'm in huge profits at this stage, but even if not, secondly, the fact that they are blue chip, they would essentially just go down with the whole market just going down, just going straight to zero. Do I believe that the market is going down? Do I believe that after 2 years of the bear market, we will just go down? Just feel the change in the sentiment. Remember yourself on Sunday and look at yourself now. It's very interesting how psychology actually screws up with you, right? That's the part. I will tell you if I'm bullish or bearish closer to the end of this video. Moving forward, $66,000 for Bitcoin breached. What's next? We have this preview, for example, from CryptoBand Replies channel. Bitcoin must hold 66k or 30% correction incoming, which is a very interesting preview. We also do have support at 62k. We're pretty much in this range for quite some time already from the end of February. We entered this range and we are just trading in this range, up and down, up and down. You might say that we can easily go to 62k. It's going to be very very important. If it would actually stay at this level, at the support, and bounce back, or if you're going to go through this level and go down. Because if you're going through, well, next support is like what, 52k? That's not going to look great. That's definitely not going to look great, my friend. But right now we're in the range. Right now everything is pretty much all right. We might expect us going $3,000 more to 62 levels, and then see what will be happening after that. Personally, I do think that 62,000 is the lowest level for this correction. I personally think that we are not going to actually break it and go lower as well. You might say that we are at pre-halving deep, that we are close to summer, and summer months are actually the worst months for crypto historically. But this cycle is already not a very historical one, right? And some people are saying that we should probably just go down here and we should just go sideways for many months, for till the start of autumn. We will just go sideways, maybe 40k, 50k, 60k, somewhere at that levels, accumulating and essentially waiting and retaining this energy for the pump higher in the autumn. This cycle fooled a lot of people already. We also have ETF outflows at this stage. It does not rhyme with me well. There are just too many macro events. S&P 500 is just too high in comparison to Bitcoin. I think that the environment for risky assets is going to become very nice this year. Probably in the first half of the next one as well. I'm just not someone who is sitting for 2 years in the bear market to sell and leave at the new all-time highs. But I will share on this a bit later in the video as well. One very interesting thing I wanted to share as well. I do believe that partially this dump is connected with the dump on the stock market. Speaking of S&P 500, I do think that the current correction is connected to the correction on stocks as well. We do see 1.5% correction on stocks on S&P 500, which is a large correction on stocks, right? Everyone is very afraid holding stocks when they're correcting 1.5%, right? But interesting thing that I actually wanted to show is that we're pretty much up. We're just printing all-time highs from November of last year. And if we would compare current all-time highs with the all-time highs of previous cycle for Bitcoin, we see that the stocks are up around 10% at this stage. And with BTC, we are up how many? 4 or 5k from the previous all-time highs, and at the same time, with adjusted inflation, we didn't breach all-time high yet for Bitcoin. With adjusted inflation, new all-time high for BTC should be set at $78,000, because Bitcoin should be your leverage position on stock market. Stocks started to surge up, BTC started to surge up as well. Obviously, it did way better than stocks, right? But at the same time, there is still certain catch-up that needs to be done. And I'm just speaking about Bitcoin in connection to stocks, but altcoins, they're pretty much dead at this stage. What is happening with your altcoins? Total market cap of altcoins, they are not even at their all-time highs. And it's not even with adjusted inflation at this stage. They still have 60% move to actually reach previous all-time highs from their levels, which is so crazy. Moving forward, one interesting topic that I wanted to touch as well is that daily inflations of the tokens that we definitely have in the crypto market. The thing we have on the market is daily token inflations from staking. Things like ATM, for example. ATM note holders have 1,000 tokens a day issued from this staking. Just for example, do they care about the market? Is it a big difference for them to sell at 11 bucks, at 5 bucks, or at $1 as well? I was not able to pick up this statistic for this video, but there are millions of dollars worth of new tokens that are appearing on the market on a daily basis. And most VCs, just because they have reporting to do to the investors of the fund, right? They're just selling most of the tokens right away. And all of these people staking, a lot of them, they're just staking. A lot of them, they're just selling these tokens right away. They just don't care. VCs are just receiving the tokens and dumping them on the market right away. Most of them, if they don't have plans to push the project way higher. This is my theory with Sui, for example. I do think that Sui should be going way higher, just because I think that VCs will not be dumping the tokens on the market right away. Same thing is happening with larger altcoins. I believe this is one of the reasons meme coins are doing well. Fair, no supply is printed daily. This is actually quite important because one of my greatest mistakes in the bear market was actually buying the tokens of the previous cycle. And there are issues with tokens of the previous cycle is because there are unlocks of the VCs, regular unlocks, and at the same time a lot of these projects you can actually stake them. Therefore they're constantly printing new supply for node owners, for VCs, and they're just dumping the tokens on the market as well. These are just some things that you need to be aware of if you're buying into the token, especially if you're holding the token. Because if you're holding something on the stock market, most likely new shares are not going to be printed. The dollar is just being printed, right? And here it's a bit tricky. And I think it's one of the reasons. And I think it's one of the reasons of why meme tokens are actually doing well, and why memes, and why we will actually be seeing a super cycle for meme coins this time as well. Often there are no VCs, there is not additional supply printed, there are just early whales who are able to buy early, understanding the narrative before the market essentially understood it, right? Moving forward, macro. So if we are following a certain investment strategy, and in crypto you should have investment strategy, you should have theses and invalidation for your thesis as well. You should have a strategy that you are following in the market as well. And one of the great invalidations for the strategy might be the change of the macro environment, a change in something that happened on the market that would invalidate your strategy and would actually make you to take certain actions in the market as well. I wanted to recap current market environment as well, and what are the things that are actually waiting for us in this year. S&P 500 new all-time highs daily, currently on the correction, but before that new all-time highs almost each and every day. We do have elections this year, and not only in the US. It's the big election year in a bunch of countries over the world, all over the world as well. Obviously is the most important one because Fed are located in the US. 3 rate cuts. Jerome Powell on his recent report said that they expect to have 3 rate cuts this year. The environment is quite bullish, and I believe that environment for risky assets will be becoming better and better this year as well. Quantitative easing, money printing with a high chance this year. Different analysts, they were predicting that we will have quantitative easing this year as well, most likely closer to September, October of this year as well. Bitcoin still have huge catch up to do to stocks. On top of that, from crypto point of view, we do have Bitcoin halving, which is generally a bullish event. However, it is probably and Bitcoin halving is actually timed up with global liquidity cycle once in 4 years, right? And we still have this news about Ethereum ETF, and market just priced in that the ETF is not happening. No one is bullish on the ETF. At least market is not bullish on the ETF. Price of Ethereum definitely does not show it. Very, very interesting situation because, of course, some things that everyone is sure about, they are always happening on the market because this is how the market works. Market definitely does not follow Max Payne scenario, right? At the same time, we are in a very, very interesting situation where a lot of people actually added capital in crypto, because back in December, we were at like 1.7 trillion capitalization for the market. Right now we are at 3.4, which is a double in capitalization in how much, like 3 to 4 months. It's very, very interesting numbers. And I think these people, and I think that currently what is happening is the market is trying to shake out these people, trying to push them to sell, trying to push them to leave and things like that. If you're on spot, I think you just should be chilling at this stage. Am I bullish or bearish? 2 years of the bear market to sell everything currently. How many players think? Is it wise for them to throw election into a trash? Ability to cash out at max? Yeah, from my point of view, I was sitting through this market for 2 years already. I do understand that a lot of alts, they didn't grow much. People who were using DCA in strategy, and you're not using DCA in strategy in crypto in the bear market, right? Because assets are just dumping too much. It's not that profitable over the long term, right? You can only DCA into blue chip assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? A lot of people who are DCAing into altcoins through the bear market. They might not even be in profits at this stage, or in a very, very slight profits. And we still did not have our parabolic move, which usually signalizes the end of the bull market, right? Many assets, like we didn't have our alt season, we didn't have anything. Ethereum is at $3,000 bucks. AVAX is $50. Is it the end of the bull market? We just were at the all-time high, even not adjusted by inflation. This is the type of mindset that I actually agree on at this stage. If 70k is the top, I don't even want my profits. Send my bags to zero and dump people's new retirement funds in the ETF to Hades. We can try again in 4 years. I ain't got time for a baby back beach double top 69k, just the tip bull run. This is the type of mindset that I actually have myself as well. Despite the fact that I'm in huge profits at this stage on my Memecoins backs. It just does not feel that the whole thing is over. And it's so funny, like this change in the sentiment is so funny. Only in 2 days. Remember yourself on Sunday and think of yourself today, right? Very, very funny. Some things I wanted to say about manipulators, about whales who are essentially behind the curtains, cashing out of this market, cashing out of retail and all us as well. They do understand they have catalyst events as well. And I think how this thing works is that it's just pure marketing. They spend some money, they see how the market reacts. If everyone is bullish on something, and if everyone is buying in, and if everyone is pushing up the price, they might spend some more money in order to create a better liquidity distribution zone for them, right? If they see that they're throwing money in, but people are still afraid, they're taking profits after 2x, no one is joining the market, capitalization is not going up, of course, they might be taking profits, they might be leaving as well. I don't think that it might be happening for this market currently. With the Bitcoin halving, with Ethereum ETF, with the elections, with rate cuts, with quantitative easing as well, with overall macro right now at this stage, I don't think it might be happening right now. At least this year, right? Because short term, we might have different things. We have Bitcoin halving. Miners are looking to sell some of their hardware because some of them actually stopped to be profitable, and they're selling some of the Bitcoin as well because they might want to cash out at this stage. I just don't feel like selling currently. I do understand that people with risky positions opened might not be doing very, very well currently. I do only have conservative loans at this stage. And if you are in some risky meme coins with zero narratives and some risky projects, I would probably leave them as well. But at the same time, it's a large opportunity for things like that currently because people are leaving them. Therefore, it might be the best time to actually get into them. Virtue poker, the thing that I was talking about for many months on this channel when no one pretty much cared about this channel, right? It is currently at the levels where I was buying into it in December. And it's definitely a risky asset. There are definitely a bunch of people from previous cycles holding a bunch of supply into this thing, VCs and things like that, probably with most of their supply unlocked as well. But at the same time, it's this risky thing that people left, that you feel very not comfortable to be entering something like virtue poker at this stage, right? But this is usually where the most of opportunity lies. To sum up the whole thing, I'm bullish, and I only got 2 to 3x on the portfolio to basically leave. That's not something that I'm in here for. A lot of the tokens that I was buying, they are projecting and they were bought for PvE type of scenario where retail would essentially come into the market. Moving forward, are there any strong ecosystems, usual actors? So we can use something like banter bubbles and pretty much see what is going up on an hourly basis. We see Pulse Chain, we see Tower, which is AI narrative, but generally the whole thing is red. So we should probably not actually focus on things that are in the green currently, but things that dumped the least at this stage. We definitely see that Ton We definitely see that Ton is correcting, Phantom is correcting, Pepe is correcting nicely as well, Sui, and these are some of the narratives that a lot of people were talking about, which usually means that there are a lot of people in these narratives that don't understand much. They were pretty much just following someone, they got into it, and they don't actually understand why they need to hold as well, right? Personally, I would be buying the same actors at this stage. Maybe they would be going lower, but you won't ever be able to catch the exact bottom. I would be buying Sui, I would be buying Stacks, I would be buying Arbitrum. I'm still very, very bullish on Ethereum. Stacks will have a Nakamoto upgrade. Sui is just something that should be pumping as well. Phantom might be a nice thing. Something in AI, even Tao or Near, that's correcting currently. But you might check different AI tokens as well. I'm holding NQAI that definitely has corrected significantly from the highs as well. If you are into utility stuff and strong ecosystems as well, you might check out this thing as well. Ton is very bullish because they should be paying their creators on Telegram within their blockchain. Therefore, the utility, the usage of the blockchain is just going to be crazy. And obviously meme coins as well. I do think that blue chip narrative meme coins are actually great for buying as well. There are a bunch of them that are holding currently, that people are not selling at this stage, which is very, very interesting. They definitely show relative strengths that you should follow. Moving forward, dips are for buying. Something from virtual banking I wanted to share. The investment strategy remains straightforward. When the market dips, it's time to buy. This isn't just a tactic, it's a proven approach to building wealth in crypto. Don't overthink it, keep it simple and just act. It's very, very interesting that if you dump people, they're usually good actors, so they act a lot, right? It's easier for them to act in this world because they don't think on different scenarios, what would happen if that. They're just acting, they're just buying into things, and over time in crypto, especially in the bull market, this type of behavior is often rewarded. If you've seen the invalidation for your strategy, then sure, you should change your behaviors. If you didn't see invalidation for your strategy, then your behavior should not be changed as well. We've seen many times that dips are for buying. We think that we're in the bull market. All of the time, in all of the cycles, they're pretty much telling us that even if we're just going to go sideways for 3 months, 6 months, we still would be in the bull market. And with the time horizon and with the planning till the end of this year, we do expect at the end of this year for the whole thing to go up as well. Stocks, crypto, and in general. I think in general, you should feel yourself very comfortable at this stage, sitting on spot, just thinking on what are the things that you might want to be buying. I will share some more. I mentioned something about the memes that people are not selling heavily. I do see that one of them is Andy on Blast. And the main reason is that we have this huge catalyst for Andy on Blast in the shape of airdrop coming in May. That should be more than $100 million at this stage. And I think with this type of narrative, it's very comfortable for people to actually be holding into it as well. Obviously, there are some other plays on the market that you can just check out by yourself. Check out how they're holding, what is happening with them. I saw that Toshi on base, for example, is going up a bit, at least on the short-term time frame. It's very interesting that during the times like this, it's very comfortable to buy, because we always think that, oh, this will go lower. I will be able to buy lower. I'm not comfortable to buy right now because I will buy lower. But the issue with this type of mindset is that everyone thinks the same. And everyone, or at least more people, would be way more comfortable buying lower if we would actually go lower. No one knows if we are actually going to go lower. I would say it's based on your time horizon, on your strategy, on your understanding of the tokens that you are buying into, and on your knowledge and conviction on the projects that you are following and on the information you know. Because if you're just following the project, if you just actively know what is happening, if you're actively in Discord, on Telegram, you know what is happening, you would still have a huge edge over the market. Because most of the market, they just sit in 20, 30, 40 different projects. They don't look after any of them. And you would still have a giant edge if you just have 5 to 8 projects and you're following each and every one of them, knowing the catalyst events, knowing the things that are happening, and knowing all the upcoming news, and having conviction on these projects. One more time, I'm bullish. I feel internally that I'm not comfortable buying more at this stage, and it might be a mistake, but I'm 90% plus on the market, so I will be fine anyway. I'm de-risking some of the positions that I have. I closed my Dodge long and I got liquidated on one of my Arbitrum longs, so I added margin into other loans as well. I'm just sitting comfortably on spot. I was also not taking any profits recently from the tokens that I hold. I think zooming out, seeing the big picture, and sitting comfortably on spot or on low leverage is a very, very nice thing to do currently in the market. Well, let's gamble. We do have 247 members. By the way, I wanted to make a note that most likely soon I will be ending these giveaways. The main reason for that is because I don't see a lot of winners essentially sharing anything in the private Discord as well. I don't see ROI from this activity. I thought in the first place that ROI from the activity would be better. I think that we will just better use these funds to grow the channel, to provide a better type of content, to provide better quality of information, better research, maybe some edits as well, some things on Twitter too. I do think that better ROI for the channel would be in me essentially spending, in us essentially investing these funds into other things as well. I don't feel you need these giveaways in the first place. Nevertheless, we do have 247 people. First winner is 102. 51, very, very nice. 51 is 17 multiplied by 3. 102, first time winner, right? Moving forward, 158. Second time winner, nice. Generate 69. 0x69, right? Third time winner. I think it's second third time winner, right? Need to send third time. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Hold the shields. Be brave. I won't say that we entered this market to sell or exit currently. Even if we are going to 8 months, 6 months sideways action. I do think that macro is just too bullish. Global liquidity cycle is there. I don't feel that terrible events have been pushed to this year. I do feel like they would print money for some time. They would want to take them through the stock market and through businesses that they own and through taxes. Cash out at max from the stock market and from crypto. And then solve all of the problems with one huge terrible thing. Thank you very much for watching this video. I will be seeing you tomorrow. Bye bye.